My hometown. Many people in Taiwan would consider Dasun or Tianwei a small town. Perhaps if you grew up in Taipei, you may even think that Yonglin is a small town. Well, I was born and raised in small town Canada, and I have yet to see a real small town in Taiwan. The town I grew up in has a population of around 250 people or so. Now that is what I call a small town. Taiwan is more like one big city of 23 million people. Every town and city seems to be connected to one another. In rural Alberta, Canada, there are many small villages scattered about, none connected. In Huendin, where I grew up, the nearest village is around 12 kilometers northwest by highway. Continuing along the same highway, it is another 30 kilometers or so to the next town. The only things between these towns are a few farms, miles of barbed wire fence to keep cattle in or out of a field, and a tree here and there. There is nothing but wide open space everywhere. Living in a small town does have its disadvantages, especially when it comes to dining out and shopping. There are no restaurants in Huendin. The nearest restaurant is at least 30 minutes by car, and needless to say, everyone knows how to cook. If you don't, then you will starve. As well, there are no places to really go shopping. There's a small grocery store, but nowhere to buy clothes or hardware or CDs or much of anything else. I don't want to be too negative, though, because you can buy parts for your car or tractor. There is also a bank, a hair salon, a post office, a library, and a school. The positive aspects to living here are huge. Everyone knows your name. You never have to go far to find a friend or someone to help you out. There's plenty of fresh air. You don't have to look for peace and quiet because it will find you. And the beautiful night sky is always there. I thoroughly enjoy the 20-some years I lived in Huendin, and I wouldn't trade it for the world. As a child, I felt so safe and free. There was never any traffic for me to worry about as I rode my bike or crossed the street. Some days it seemed there were never any cars at all. I could wander through the nearby pastures, roll down the hills, build a fort in a clump of trees, or do anything else that I wanted, never worrying about strangers or harm. My perspective on what a small town is has definitely changed after spending time in Taiwan. However, if I had never left that small town, I would never have realized how small and special it really is. But I can also appreciate a lot of what Taiwan offers. Maybe the things you take for granted in your own town are the things that I appreciate most about it. Much as I took for granted the quiet and clean air that I now miss so much. Vocabulary. Connect. Scatter. Barbed. Disadvantage. Starve. Negative. Tractor. Salon. Positive. Pasture. Clump. Perspective.